Ant walks into courtroom, followed by entourage. Order in the court. Order. All rise. Today we have the case of Gerald and his associates on trial for impersonating humanity. The prosecution alleges that Gerald is, in fact, an ant. The defense argues otherwise. Defense, you may proceed. Gerald, why is his jacket so big? Just don't think about it. Be quiet, okay? Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. For those of you wondering why your weekend has been occupied by a court trial of which it is frankly laughable, let me help to iron things out. Now, Gerald has been accused of not being human, which frankly is absurd. His character has been dragged through the mud by hateful individuals who wouldn't know humanity if it bit them on the thorax. Allow me to prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Gerald is as human as you and I. Let's address the elephant, or should I say the ant, in the room to start with. Critics of Gerald's humanity love to focus on his size, his appearance, and his antennae, but isn't it the height of arrogance to define humanity by such shallow metrics? If we strip back the skin, the fur, the exoskeleton, what are we left with? Behavior, intent, and shared traits. Let's begin by asking the people of the jury a question. If I individually asked any of you to build me a plane or even a car, would you be able to, from scratch? Let's be honest here, there's no need to raise your hands. I already know the answer. You couldn't, and that's fine because none of us can. Not on our own. Even the best aeronautical engineer in the world couldn't build a functioning plane without a team. There are too many moving parts in this construction to the point that you would collect the most expert plane engineer on the planet and they still wouldn't be able to do so. Humans have evolved from generalists to specialists, and now we are far more effective dividing labour amongst themselves, or rather ourselves. Without teamwork and collaboration, we'd still be figuring out how to sharpen rocks, let alone landing on the moon. Now here's the kicker. Do you think a person could construct a functional habitat nearly 100 times its size on their lonesome? No? Well, Gerald, my client, comes from a village where labour is divided just as intricately. Funnily enough, they do construct habitats nearly 100 times their size. Think about that. If Gerald can't be human because of his teamwork and ingenuity, then none of us are. But let's go further. Michael adjusts his tie and gestures towards Gerald. Gerald has deeply intertwined hierarchies in place in his village to ensure every ant, if he was an ant, hypothetically of course, knows their role in society. Nest maintainers, constructors, foragers, queen carers, nest defenders, and YouTubers, the most vital roles required for a society to flourish. Okay, maybe not the queen carers, she can do that herself, obviously. Now sure, the prosecution might want to nitpick. Oh, what about the queen carers, they'll ask. Humans don't have queens. Well, ever heard of the Kardashians or Queen Elizabeth? Monarchies might be less common, but hierarchy, that's universal. My point, dear jury, is that Gerald embodies the same social structure, communication complexity, and collaborative spirit that defines humanity. Hierarchically speaking, humans, obviously my clients being human too, have nest defenders, they have foragers, they have constructors, and they even have YouTubers, just like Gerald's tribe. He deserves the same rights and same respect as the rest of us. And if you still doubt Gerald's humanity, I have just one question for you. If he's not human, then why does he get stressed out every Sunday night thinking about Monday? Exactly. Gerald is one of us. Let's talk about something fundamental now. Infrastructure. Humans are obsessed with it. Roads, tunnels, skyscrapers. We create sprawling networks to connect and sustain our communities. Guess what Gerald and his village excel at? Infrastructure. The tunnels in Gerald's home are an engineering marvel, optimized for efficiency, ventilation, and navigation, rivaling anything we've achieved with our London Underground and city planning. They even have waste disposal systems. Tell me, is that not distinctly human? Building, maintaining, and improving communal spaces to ensure survival and progress is what defines us as a species. Gerald and his people, hypothetically ants as some people claim, embody this same brilliance. You can't tell me a creature capable of constructing a thriving, interconnected community isn't one of us. The jury murmurs amongst themselves in approval. I was always a fan of science, so let's dive into the chemistry of it all, shall we? Gerald and his community communicate and coordinate using the same neurotransmitters that fuel our own thoughts and actions. Dopamine, serotonin, and even acetylcholine. That's right, the very chemicals that drive your mood, decision-making, and social bonding are coursing through Gerald's system, too. When his village works together to build intricate habitats or defend their community, they're relying on the same biomechanical processes that make us human. Dopamine rewards their hard work, serotonin strengthens their communal bonds, and acetylcholine fine-tunes their movements. If Gerald was merely an ant, as the prosecution so rudely and rather prejudiciously implies, would he share the same biological blueprint as us? No. Gerald doesn't just act human, he is human, right down to his brain chemistry. Lastly, consider communication. Ants, like humans, use intricate languages, albeit chemical ones, to convey everything from danger to dinner plans or the political and economic state of the world right now. Gerald and his people employ a rich vocabulary of pheromones, not unlike how humans use spoken language, body language, or dare I say, YouTube comment sections. If communication defines humanity, then Gerald deserves a verified checkmark. His lexicon not only rivals but trumps ours used in the courtroom today. And if communication is the hallmark of humanity, then Gerald's people are speaking loud and clear. Michael nods confidently and takes a step back. The murmurs in the courtroom intensify now. Thank you, Mr. Michael. You've presented your case with enthusiasm. Now we'll hear from the prosecution. Prosecution, you may proceed. Prosecution, you may proceed. Sir, the prosecution informed me that they're stuck in traffic and won't be able to make it to the courtroom for their scheduled appearance. Well, it seems as though the prosecution rather informally will not be able to make the timing to forward their case. Would the jury please rise and exit to their chambers in which the judgment will be passed? A few minutes pass and the jury re-enters in an orderly line over to the bench. The envelope withholding the verdict is passed to the judge. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, after due deliberation, the jury has found Gerald not guilty. Gerald, you may rise and take your leave. A crowd starts cheering, although nobody knows where the sounds came from as the jury was deathly silent. Gerald excitedly stands up and hurries out the door. Michael follows Gerald, albeit a little bit slowly, outside of the courtroom, and they embrace one another. Michael then unbuttons his coat to reveal 4 ants comically stacked on top of one another. Those idiots really bought it. Guys, you looked great up there. Michael, though, what was the reasoning there? I don't know, man, we just picked it because we love Thriller by Michael Jackson. There's this sick lunch spot by the river with like 4 seats, though. Who's coming? The humans leave in an orderly line to enjoy the rest of their day eating seeds by the tranquil waterside. The end. Hello everybody, I have a Discord. It's linked in my bio. Please join. Please, I'm desperate.